This is the morning. Day 2. Thanks for coming along.
Well, it's good to see the motorcycle still there.
All right, so on the PEI trip, for the first time I started having this issue. The rear wheel is covered in oil. That's not soaked. And my little differential back here started leaking a little bit of oil, leaving some residue behind, which we've got again. Look at that. So it still doesn't seem to be leaking like very quickly, but it's definitely losing a little bit. I don't know, we're just gonna put a little bit more in though. Yeah, that's tight. At first I was only gonna bring motor oil, but I figured I ought to bring the gear oil. And look at this, you know? So we're just giving it a little bit. It's not much. Well, all right, so the plan for today is I'm about 700 kilometers, 750 kilometers away from Ottawa right now. So I'm gonna make my way to Ottawa. It seems that there's a friend of mine who's gonna meet me there, and maybe we'll go ride around together or something. Maybe I'll spend the night, who knows? But for right now, I'm in Lac Baker. This is the morning of day 2. And I'm gonna roll into Quebec in just a moment. I'm like a few hundred meters away from Quebec. Got about 100 kilometers left in the tank. Probably go to McDonalds, get a coffee and a muffin. Go from there. There's no plans. Well, you know, they say that those who fail to plan to fail, and you know, I rolled up onto this garbage can here with a chocolate milk container in my hand to throw out, and I should have planned on not crashing my motorcycle first thing in the morning before even making it off the campsite, but yeah, you know, that's the kind of planning that I do. You know, and also I should have planned a better way to carry all my camera batteries, because they all fell out of my bag like 2 kilometers away from the campsite. So really this was like the start of what was to come. This was what lay ahead of me, was things falling off of my motorcycle, because I lost my gloves so many times. I lost my hat. I lost my boots at one point. I had to turn around and go get my boots. But this is just the first. I lost all my camera batteries across the highway. But luckily, I ended up finding them. It made it way down here. I got it. I got it. All right, so there's no welcome sign here, but, well, at least not for the provinces. But here we have Lac Baker, New Brunswick. No sign. Oh! Quebec! Ah, je cherchais pour le potin. So Quebec and Ontario have this thing going on where basically everybody lives in a great big line from east to west. So there's not a whole lot of routes to go through Quebec and Ontario, and I was really trying to avoid going through the major cities. So rather than taking the Google Maps suggested route through Quebec, I am going more down towards the eastern townships. It's a little bit faster, well, depending how you drive, to drive through Maine, but I figured I'd stay in Canada, so. So I went up the whole way around, you know, Lac Baker, yada yada, down through Quebec. Now, all throughout the eastern townships, I kept on entering these areas where I didn't realize this until later. So this is a little bit of hindsight. But essentially there would be a sign saying, hey, there's speed cameras ahead, don't speed too much. And then when you reach the end of that zone, there'd be another sign saying, speed camera zone's over. Presumably you can return to speeding now. But I kept on turning into these zones, I guess in the middle of them, because the first 4 or 5 that I went through, I only saw the speed zone ends kind of a thing. If I were speeding, you know, if I were, I would be expecting to get some tickets in the mail. You know, if I had been. And it's been a few months now, and I haven't received any tickets, regardless of whether or not I was speeding in those zones. And I'm kind of wondering if any are going to show up. But it's been a while now, so maybe that's because Quebec is really slow at sending out tickets, or maybe it's because I actually wasn't speeding. Now, something else I did really enjoy about driving on Quebec, this was a Sunday, by the way. there were so many motorcyclists out. I can't believe how many people were out. Like, motorcycling seems to be a reasonably popular pastime in New Brunswick, but wow, I just everywhere. Gold Wings, so many touring bikes, just about enough to make a guy feel insecure on a 98 V-Star, but really, really awesome to see how many motorcyclists were out enjoying the day. The entire way across Quebec, just non-stop motorcyclists. I was keeping count at first, and then I lost track around 30 or so, and there was just so many more after I stopped counting. So, way to go, Quebec, on having the motorcyclist culture. It was so cool. Everywhere I went, I was just like getting into these little packs of motorcyclists. And it was such a beautiful day. You can see there's like a little bit of haze coming along. It was definitely forest fire season right now, and I was getting a little bit of haze as I was crossing Quebec. I got a little bit more of it as I got into Ontario, and then you'll see by the time I get to like Wawa, it was really thick. So there was like a little bit of I wasn't sure if that was like just a haze or if that was wildfire smoke that was going on, but it was definitely wildfire smoke, which is too bad. That was really the only disappointment of this part of the drive, was having that. I don't know, having my view obstructed a little bit, which is not that much of a complaint, all things considered. I mean, really, if anything else, it's other people who have to complain about me, because this exhaust is just so dang loud. Now, here's a clip from back when I got this motorcycle. And as you can tell, that's pretty ridiculous. And the thing is that, riding in town, although it's, kind of dickish to rev a motorcycle in town, it just is. I don't care what you say. It is. At least people expect that. But when you're just like way out in the boonies, just like being obnoxiously loud, it's just so embarrassing. I did not change out the exhaust on this thing. Somebody else did it. And I just had to live with the consequences of this. And it honestly made me so insecure having this stupidly loud motorcycle. So I'm sorry to everybody in the Eastern Townships for the sake of this video, but also the entire way across Canada. I'm sorry for ruining your afternoons and evenings by just screaming down the street like this, just nonstop. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyhow, back to the ride. So here we are. We're coming up on Montreal, right? Lots of cars, lots of traffic, lots of speeding. People drive really fast around Montreal. It's kind of like their specialty out there, which is cool. I respect that. So earlier in the day, my roll-up bag came unrolled because I didn't roll it enough. It's my fault. But it came unrolled, and then my batteries bag, fell on the concrete, and I had to pick up like a dozen camera batteries off the road. So for the rest of the day, I kept on looking back and patting my bag, right? Making sure I wasn't losing hundreds of dollars worth of camera batteries, because that would have bummed me out, and I'd rather not do that. So I'm driving down the road there, 110, 120, whatever it was. And I look back and I'm like tapping my bag, make sure I haven't lost any batteries. And then I look forward again, and the van in front of me was stopping, which was a problem. I could have stopped in time. Instead, I just went into the median and just passed him. But yeah, like straight up, that was pretty much as close as I came to dying on this trip. There was a couple other times, but that, I think that one was the closest. I just about rear-ended somebody going full highway speed. I took a second, caught my breath, figuratively changed my pants, and then kept on going. It was a really beautiful evening. I stopped off for gas, and then I stopped for gas, get back on the motorcycle, start riding down the road, and as I'm riding down the road, I think, man, my hands are actually kind of cold. And then I realized I was wearing my gloves, so I had to turn around and go back to the gas station to pick up my gloves. So yeah, that was the second time I lost something on this trip, with many more to come. But it was an awesome day. So that was day 2. Thanks for coming along. There's going to be another video, I guess, next week. Day 3, which was hanging out in Ottawa and then driving to Huntsville, Ontario. So come on, check it out.